Computer and recording.
Hi, back for
Hi.
another mentor meeting. Jake Porter and Zach Luther. Here we're talking about my adapted lesson plan I had to come up with. And this was like, individualized learning,
Yep.
diversified instruction, all that type of stuff.
Okay.
Uh, Content area is history, about the early Americans and the first Europeans for the third grade level. They had given me like a sample lesson plan to go off of, and I just had to adapt it to uh, you know,
The students.
the students. Yeah.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So I had to do like I do, we do, you do.
Yep.
And for that, I do introduce the like content and
Yep.
kind of like give them a background. We do, I thought it'd be a good idea to choose individuals to like read aloud around the room
Mhm.
and have everyone follow along while we're doing that so that we can kind of like, you know, keep engagement up and
Right.
move around the room.
Yep.
And then for you do, we would do a writing assignment based on the focus question of the unit.
Okay.
So I needed to include UDL elements for this. So like alternative means of engagement. Um, oh, here we go. So like there were some student needs for instructional support like ADHD,
Okay.
diverse learning needs modifications. I would like, one-on-one supervision, encouragement,
Mhm.
repeated redirection.
Yep.
For like reading disabilities, maybe include or create visual and auditory representations
Yep.
so that they have diversified instruction.
Mhm.
Um, this was actually based on a specific student I'm remembering now.
Okay.
The another assignment I did, we talked about Sophia.
Okay.
This is her issues were reading disability, ADHD, and she struggled with time management. So these are three things on here now.
Okay.
Uh, ADHD, the one-on-one, reading disability, the visual and auditory representations, and time management. I had the idea to include like a timer,
Okay.
dedicated times for breaks and deep work.
Right.
Um, Same for like assessments, or pretty similar.
Gotcha.
And with Sophia, I had to rationalize why does this work for her? Why is this good? And so for the one-on-one support, I said repeated redirection is effective in helping students who struggle with ADHD.
Sure.
Um,
I think that's especially the case in the building that we're currently in.
oh yeah,
Yeah, I think that the tough one will be into play when you have a class of 30 or 25 kids. If that one-on-one can't happen, it's like those constant kind of checks.
yeah.
Maybe set a timer. I'll be back in
Mhm.
2 minutes to check.
Did you have like large classes at the junior high? You were at the junior high?
Yeah, yeah. So at the junior high or just other classes that I've had larger class, like you sit there too long for one-on-one instruction, then you
Everybody
know,
else is,
then everyone, yeah.
yeah.
But also, too, you don't want that person to get frustrated that they're getting singled out in a big classroom like that, which could happen.
Right.
So to set kind of proactively, like, hey, I'll be back in 2 minutes. Here's a timer, so they see the timer going on right next to them, and then you're going to be back when that thing goes off,
Yeah.
and then they have to do some stuff. Right? You
Mhm.
turn your back with like kind of nothing in place, then yeah, I think off-task behaviors might happen.
How do you like build in, because you want kids to be able to be kids. You don't want them to just be a robot and sit in front of a computer all day. And
Sure.
how do you build in time for them to get that out? Like I feel like if you start off class with like, okay, 5 minutes of socializing, and then we're gonna get into the lesson plan, it's gonna start off rough, and they're not gonna want to get going.
That's tough.
Like
Yeah, like I think the 5 minutes of socializing might be more of like a 5 minutes of an icebreaker of some sorts that doesn't really have to do with like get the class engaged.
mhm,
Maybe they can go to a partner and talk about something, and maybe it's not related to the actual
just
assignment.
structured
Sometimes maybe,
socialization.
yeah, sometimes maybe it is tied to it. Sometimes it just might be a friendly competitive game the first 5 minutes, but I think you can't just I know what you're saying, and I've done that before, and it doesn't really work out. It's like, hey, do what you want for 5 minutes,
Yeah.
and then we're gonna start.
And then you can't like reel them in
Yeah,
after 5 minutes.
can't reel them in if you just don't have like kind of rules or boundaries towards it.
Yeah. I've been trying to think of ways with my second period. It might be too late in the year now, but like to kind of come in and set the tone
Yeah.
at the gate because that period is has a lot of issues with sleeping and
Oh yeah.
not really like
Or even like just like a 10 question like Kahoot. And it could be about like songs or movies or
yeah.
something to get them kind of engaged together. And then
You'd be
then might
surprised how much pushback you get on a Kahoot
I
though.
know, I know. It feels like they just, oh, we always do that. I
I
know,
don't want to do that one.
I know. And
Gosh.
they're all different. But I think it's better to try to do something together than, hey, socialize. I'm going to be over here for a second.
Hmm.
That doesn't really work too well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Cool, cool, cool.
Well,
That's it?
yeah, that's it.
No questions or nothing?
No, I think I included the mentor questions there, so
Huh. All
cool.
right. Thanks.